Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Inside the Big Dynasty League. With me, as always, the stat man, Petey Cunningham, and the commish, Clyde Randall Waters. Now, I gotta admit, this might be a boring show this week. Don't turn the channel, we're still gonna try to make it fun, but nothing happened in the league this week. There was nothing exciting, no controversy, no trade weirdness, nothing.
I wish every game was a blowout.
Yeah, it's just a boring week. We're going to try to make it fun.
Can I ask you, have you ever seen a TV show start off, by saying, this is going to be a boring episode?
Look, I'm just trying to be honest with the people. We're going to make it fun. But it was a boring week. I think it's going to be an exciting episode because we're here and we're fun people. We're filmed in front of a live studio audience. Woo! Of one this week. Not two like normal. But let's go. Let's start off this week with looking at last week's matchup of the week.
Matchup of the week.
Statman, break it down for me, please.
I'll tell you what, I thought this one was going to be a lot closer than it was. But Cincinnati Bourbon Barons almost discount double up the Unseen Academicals. Unseen Academicals only scored 79 points this week. They only had 3 players in double digits. Tom Brady, star quarterback, scored 10 points. They had a player that, and this is just how bad a week it was for the Unseen Academicals. They had a player that was cut from their team this week. That's how bad it was.
Man.
I don't know if Unseen Academicals had anything to do with that player being cut, if they expressed their disappointment, and it was like, they're gone. He gone. So, rough week. Cincinnati Bourbon Barons now have tied their record for most wins in a season with 7.
Woo!
And there's still 3 weeks to go. So, looking good for a playoff. Huge tiebreaker implications with getting this win.
That's why I want it bad. I want the playoffs bad. Just got to keep winning. Commish, anything on this one?
I think one thing you can see right off the bat is that your efficiency ratings really right off the bat are a cue into why this game was so lopsided as it was. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little upset you didn't pull the discount double up.
I'm upset myself. I was yelling for different math, but apparently math is math.
CJ Prosise getting 22 points. Really looked like he's going to be featured as a receiving back there. In Seattle, they just cut Christine Michael on the Academical, starting running back from last week. They just cut him. Thomas Rawls is back, so it'll be interesting to see how they go with the Rawls, CJ Prosise dynamic.
If I remember correctly, though, Unseen Academicals cut Thomas Rawls from their roster just a few weeks ago.
Oh.
I believe was picked up then by you.
That is true. Yes.
Oh, man.
They went from having 2 Seattle running backs to none.
Next up, let's take a look at the San Francisco 69ers. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is a sex joke versus Mr. Clutch's fake football team. Statman, break it down.
Mr. Clutch's fake football team behind Aaron Rodgers getting those garbage points against Tennessee when they got it. got their butts kicked.
Shellacked.
Against the
I
Titans.
Was the term.
Got absolutely whooped. Oh, and by the way, Titans starting quarterback was on Unseen Academical's bench. They might have helped last week. But
not enough to get the win, but it would have helped.
But you can't bench Tom Brady. You can't bench Tom Brady.
Or can you?
Or maybe you can.
Bill Belichick would do it.
He might.
I'm just saying he would. He'd bench anybody.
He would. Nobody's
what
too
was
big.
that guy a couple years ago? The running back had like 4 touchdowns and then was late to the meeting Monday, so they cut him from the team.
Yeah, I forget his name. I know who you're talking about.
I know who you're talking about.
Because
he's so irrelevant.
For Marvin Jones. And then he got cut the next week.
Anyway, keep going. I'm sorry.
Anyway, Mr. Clutch's favorite football team. This sounds weird to say, but behind 34 points from Antonio Brown, put the whooping on the 69ers with Larry Fitzgerald getting 25 and their new starting running back Todd Gurley, who scored 8 points. Tyler Eifert with 12 on Monday Night Football, but just wasn't enough. Mr. Clutch's favorite football team put the whooping on. Ravens defense scored 27 against the Browns. That was a given.
I found it interesting that Mr. Clutch left Willie Snead on the bench. His beloved
Willie Snead.
number 3 wide receiver.
Who scored 21 points, but
21 points on the bench.
I don't know.
All right, moving right along we shall. This one was a shocker this week. If anything exciting happened this week, this is probably the only thing. Hernandez's pistol offense versus Wayne Enterprises commish. I'm going to let you talk about this one first because I want the Statman to be able to gather his thoughts and just sulk for a minute. Break this one down for us.
Oh, man. Let's see. Hernandez pistol offense shows up this week ready to play. And they go out and they put up 187 points this week.
Dang, Gina! Dang, Gina!
You know, Wayne Enterprises had a bit of an off week. Still put up 159 points, but a bit of an off week.
154, but...
No, 154. Sorry. Anyways, some things of note here. Drew Brees, 26 points. Le'Veon Bell, 34 points. Then Zeke, 40 points. That was the core of the score right there for Wayne Enterprises. The rest of his team, they were there, but did they play, really? I don't know. But then you look at Hernandez pistol offense, and they had almost a whole team effort. Dak putting up 20. Ryan Matthews picked up on the waiver wire, 29 points. Devonta Adams, 21 points. Doug Baldwin, really? 29.9 points. Jordy Nelson, 30 points. And then the kicker, Brandon McManus, 13 points. I mean, it was just a whole team effort here.
The kicker and the kicker's the kicker.
Well played.
I liked it. I don't even know if you meant to do it, but you did it, and I liked it.
Anyways, but a total effort there from Hernandez pistol offense with a big win, a must-needed win over Wayne Enterprises. This pushes Hernandez pistol offense to a 6-6 record, which puts them back in true playoff relevancy and drops Wayne Enterprises down to an 8-4 record. Still up there, top dog, but top dog kind of in question.
Top dog?
Dog?
Doge?
Anyways, that's my thoughts. Statman, what were your thoughts in this matchup?
You covered it.
Ha!
All right, moving right along.
Are you not moving on to the next matchup or anything?
We're on to EBDBB&B.
Well, if their game this week is any representation of what could happen next week, I think you're going to be all right. We got what is just a straight pounding here. The EBDBB&B getting beaten by their younger brother, the JPP firework incident. Man, a lot of points scored and not a lot of points by the other one. Statman, break this one down for me.
JPP firework incident. This team just continues to do it. Put up a record number of points for their franchise this week with 191.74. Could have been even better. They had a potential score 199.74. 96% efficient. EBDBB only 77% efficient. Went with Matt Ryan this week, who has been arguably the NFL MVP this year. Not so much this week, though. Ben Roethlisberger scored 33 on the bench. That would have been an improvement, but still, they were no match for JPP firework incident. Garrett Blount with 24. DeMarco Murray scores 30. I've never seen anything like this. I'm going to be totally honest. I'm looking at this team. Solid bunch of guys. Gronk only scored 8.6 this week, and they still scored 190. I don't know how they're doing it. They're number 2 in points. Apparently number 2 in the power rankings. Ahead of Wayne Enterprises. Jay Ajayi only scores 9. I don't know. This team's got it going on right now. We're hitting the stretch run of the season. They're only getting better.
Do you think they can keep this pace going, or do you think they're going to slow down?
I feel like this team has to slow down at some point. I can't see this. I just can't see this continuing. But I mean, they're putting up monster points each week. I don't know. We could be facing a monster showdown last week of the regular season when JPP firework incident and Wayne Enterprises play. And believe me, Wayne Enterprises, listening to all this talk about JPP firework incident, just looking at the power rankings, they know what's going on. I got a feeling they're going to be ready to play that last week of the season.
Oh, snap! Snap!
We'll see what happens, though.
Oh, snap!
Commish?
Oh, snap!
Yeah. Sorry.
He wasn't paying attention.
That wasn't.
Next up.
I got some exciting news in.
I know.
Hot off the presses.
Oh, snap.
We're going to that next.
All right.
After we finish these matches.
About this.
Next up, we got the Scarlet Pimps versus Get Off Me. Get Off Me. Commish. If you could pull yourself away for a moment, can you talk about this one for me?
Well, I think this game is just a testament to how strong the Scarlet Pimps are, but also to how favorable her matchups have been kind of this season. It kind of was an off week for her, only 139 points, but against Get Off Me, who has this ebb and flow of his team this season where it's high-low, high-low, high, and this is on the lower end of that.
Flow, I get it.
Yeah, this is on the lower end of that, only put up 110 points versus his 150 somewhere around there last week. And Scarlet Pimps, I think this puts her, a 7-game win streak, I think, right now. Still top of her division.
Helps when you're playing. Never mind. I'm not going to go there.
And looking stronger than she did beginning of the season.
I'm trying.
It's not an indictment on you.
At this point, I think you can almost say the division is hers, but there's still a lot of playoff left, especially that doubleheader week coming up and everything like that. So we'll see what happens. But some players of note here, Kirk Cousins and Julio Jones, top scorers for the Pimps. Then you had David Johnson and Brandon Cooks, top scorers for Get Off Me.
All right. Statman, you got anything on this one?
Get Off Me, best lineup would have scored 160. They'd allow Powell on the bench get 21 for the New York Jets. Had Tyreek Hill get 20. I think he had 10 catches for 101 yards. PPR monster. But, I mean, really looking at the starting lineup, there's nobody that I would have looked at and thought, I need to play them over anybody in the starting lineup. I feel like he started players that he should have. Sometimes it just doesn't work out for him.
All right. Next up, our last matchup from last week, Los Pandas Desnudo versus the FC Acid Kickers. What a surprise, Acid Kickers. If you set a lineup, you score points.
And I went with them last week. I had faith, picked them.
You don't believe they might actually sign in and set a lineup. If you would have told me they were actually going to set a lineup, maybe I would have thought they could win. Anyway, Statman, break this one down for me.
FCS Kickers, 95% efficient. Los Pandas Desnudos, 84% efficient. Although, if you would have taken every single player on Los Pandas Desnudos team and started all 19 of them, they still would have lost. They would have only scored 131. So, rough week. FCS Kickers had Odell get 25 on Monday Night Football. Dez gets 23. Delaney Walker with 27, playing that Packers defense. Great week for the Acid Kickers. Love what can happen when they start their best roster.
Yeah, when they set a lineup, they can win. Whoa, whoa,
That's good
whoa,
stuff.
whoa, whoa.
That's good stuff.
All right. So we're going to push back the awards of the week, and we're going to cut over to the commish, who just got something very exciting off the presses that is also exciting.
That's right. Thanks, Mike.
It's exciting, and it's exciting.
We have partnered with a site called the Playoff Computer Online, where we've been able to input our league and get the projections for going into the next couple weeks for the playoffs. So I just wanted to cover some stuff here, look at some things, throw some stuff out there. So let's take a look here. For the punters, why division, currently Mr. Clutch's fake football team has their fate is uncertain, but they have a 20% chance of clinching that division currently, and a 76% chance of getting a wild card playoff spot.
Math.
Yeah. The San Francisco 69ers.
That's a sex joke.
At 6-6, virtually have no shot at clinching the division, but have still a 36% chance of getting into the playoffs.
Math.
Then we have Hernandez Pistol Offense. Again, same record, 6-6, 37% chance of getting the playoffs, no shot at the division.
Math.
And then we have the JPP firework incident. Currently, the fate is uncertain, but they are favored with a 57% chance right now of winning the division, and only a 41% chance of getting a wild card playoff spot.
Arithmetic.
Wayne Enterprises.
It's a fancy word for math.
At 8-4. Again, the division is not locked up here. They have a 12% chance of being able to clinch the division, but a 77% chance that they're going to the playoffs.
I think that's about Trump's odds of winning the presidency.
Math.
I think you're right.
Political math.
Woo, man. And then EBDBBNB at this point is eliminated from all playoff contention.
Ouch.
So, let's look at the Bearded Beatdown division.
I bring the bearded.
Let's take a look at the Scarlet Pimps.
Pimps!
They are 95% likely to clinch the division.
Ouch for me.
Get off me, 5-7. They're eliminated from the division race, but they're still in with a 21% chance of getting a wild card playoff berth.
What? Still something to play for, math.
Acid Kickers, they're eliminated from the division race, but have some hope with a 0.2% chance of a playoff berth.
Ain't
So
done
you're
yet.
saying there's a chance.
Maybe if you would have set a lineup every week, that'd be at least 1%.
The Cincinnati Bourbon Barons
Here we go.
has a 3% chance of winning the division,
I can still do it!
but a 66% chance of getting into the playoffs.
All right. That's some good math for me. I like that math.
The Unseen Academicals, they are sitting almost out of the division race with 0.6% chance of coming close to winning the division, and a wild card playoff berth at 35%. And that leaves the Los Pandas Desnudos.
Math.
The nude pandas. The naked pandas. The pandas that are nude for a reason.
They got no clothes. They can't afford them because they don't win and get money.
They are eliminated from all playoff contention.
What about the division?
Eliminated from any playoff contention.
Oh, man, this is awesome. It looks like there's a bunch more words and stuff there.
Oh, there is.
That's a
'Cause
lot of...
along with this are all the scenarios for people to get their clinches.
Is this something that we can send out or post on the site?
I can send this out and people can read through it.
It's all sorts of math.
But the fun thing is each week I'll try to reprocess this and get more updated stuff, and we'll have fun with this going forward. But I thought it'd be fun to realize, just where you stand. I think some of you might be closer than you thought, and some of you might have a harder road than you actually thought you did. But
That's the way math works.
Oh,
but for many of us,
Oops.
You still have a playoff.
I should have left my phone on silent.
So we still have 10 teams with a shot at 6 spots.
Yep. 2 teams are straight out of it.
But the 2 teams that are out of it can upset other people. And that's why you should set your lineup every week and still play to win. And win to play.
Yeah. Anyways, that's what got me distracted earlier. This stuff finally processed after a long time for computing. You know,
What in the world is that one?
Oh, that is your chance of clinching a playoff spot. That is everything that...
Why is mine the longest?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh! I don't know. I guess there's just a lot of stuff at play with you.
Wow, okay.
All right. So we can have a lot of fun with that. A lot of different scenarios. A lot of this person wins and then this person loses and this and that and beat the bad boop. Let's move on, though, and check out our awards of the week. Starting with our favorite, the Hershey Milk Dud of the week for the player that just sucked and got stuck in your teeth. And what a surprise, ladies and gentlemen. He hasn't won it all year, and he was due. Jay Cutler earned this
Smoking
award.
Jay.
Good old Jay Cutler looks drunk at every single interview I've ever seen. With 1.88 points started by Get Off Me. Man, Jay Cutler, he is something else, isn't he?
I love Jay Cutler. I love that guy.
I want to like him, but I just can't. I don't know why.
The picture of him, walking the dog down the street, smoking the cig, giving the bird to the photographer. It doesn't get any better than that. We don't have that image, do we? Oh.
All right.
We needed to dial that one up this
We
week.
just need to have images ready to go of Jay Cutler.
Ready to go, Jay Cutler. It's a classic.
All right. Next up, let's move on to the Ram Pickup of the Week. Brought to you by Ram Trucks. Owned by Ram, built by Ram, sold by Ram dealerships. And you can actually tow a trailer full of Rams with your Ram. You could use it as a battering ram and break down a door, because it's a Ram. Who's getting this one, Statman?
This one is going to Ryan Matthews. Dropped on Sunday morning.
Ryan Matthews was a pickup?
Dropped on Sunday morning by EBDBB&D.
Easy like Sunday morning.
Immediately picked up by Hernandez Pistol Offense.
Immediately, like within a minute or so.
By the way, fastest pickup ever goes to Get Off Me. Mr. Clutch's fake football team dropped Tavon Austin, and I no sooner opened up the email that I got another email that he had already picked them up and dropped somebody. How is it possible to have be that quick at picking somebody up?
Click.
Look, man, people live on the waiver wire.
But it's like he was ready to just pick up a player, and he was just like, all right, dropped, all right, boom, pick him up, all right, it's done. It was
Are you insinuating
freaky fast.
Are you?
No, I'm not insinuating anything. It was just like boom, one email, boom, the other email. I'm impressed. This is not like an indictment or anything. I don't think anything shady went on. I'm just extremely impressed at how fast that pickup happened. Get off me, good job on the waiver wire.
All right,
I say.
This is the next award we're going to do. It is the Whoopin' of the Week, brought to you by Whoppers, the candy that old people eat. This award goes...
I eat Whoppers. I had Whoppers last night.
Look, we're old people. What can I say?
We made s'mores last night and put Whoppers in the marshmallows.
Okay. I slept at a research study last night.
By the way,
and was hooked up to all sorts of
This
craziness.
is my guy right here, Jay Cutler. This is my guy. How's that look?
Smoking Jay.
Smoking Jay. Walking the dog. Giving the bird.
He's actually walking the dog.
Yeah.
I thought that was
a euphemism. He's walking the dog. Flogging the dolphin.
Ain't no euphemism. No, that's. I thought he had a cig in his hand in that picture, and he doesn't. So.
All right. Anyway, the whopping of the week, the whooping, beating, bopping of the week goes to who, Commish?
Goes out to the JPP firework incident for his beating of his brother, 191 to 118. It's a 73 point differential.
Smackdown.
Ow! Smackdown.
Next up, we got the Resurrected Team of the Week, brought to you by Lazarus Department Stores.
Never been a more aptly named award for a winner, right?
Yes. Who got it, stat man? I don't even want to talk about it.
FC Acid Kickers started a full lineup, 0 players this week. Scored 143 and got the win. FC Acid Kickers.
Man, again, starting a lineup, and all of a sudden you've scored points. What a surprise. All right, next up we got the Poopery Poo-Poo Team of the Week, brought to you by Poopery. When you need to get rid of that stank before you die.
Lesson learned from last week.
Lesson learned from last week. That goes in the toilet, not in the air.
Because it's up in my...
It is potent. And then what else was potent was the stank on the Unseen Academicals this week. Not even hitting 80 points, I believe.
Really bad.
A real low score. No particular reason why, just the players didn't show up for them. They definitely set a full lineup, which we appreciate setting a full lineup every week. But that one goes out to the Unseen Academicals. And last but not least, we got the Proactive Breakout Player of the Week. When you don't want to break out, use Proactive. Is going to who, Commish?
Well, I wouldn't say so much it is a surprise player of the week. But by far the best performance put up by the young Ezekiel Elliott. Breaking the 40-point mark with 40.90 points this week. Started by Wayne Enterprises. By far this is his top scoring game this year. Beat his last top scoring game by almost 9 points. So, not a typical player for this award for us because he's kind of been a high performer all year. But this, by far, is setting a new benchmark for running backs in the league. So, shout out to Zeke and Wayne Enterprises.
Can we talk about something real quick? Of all the after I do a good play things, I think this is the stupidest.
He's eating. Let him eat.
No, I found it stupid when Tyler Lockett did it, getting a catch in his game against the Patriots this week. I think it might have been one of his only catches the entire game, and I think one of his only catches he's had in 3 weeks. He got it and came up doing it. That was stupid.
You can do it when you're scoring 40 points in fantasy.
Oh, you're scoring 40 points and
you can do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want.
I believe in freedom. Let them do what they want to do. I just personally feel this is the dumbest one.
But when the fantasy heads...
It can't be any worse than what Odell Beckham does. When that guy is so obnoxious.
Don't get me started.
He's so obnoxious.
Don't get me started. I can't stand it. Anyways, move on.
Moving on, those are the awards of the week. And now what we're going to do is cut to a new segment. A segment I like to call the Commish's Corner. And this is where the Commish will discuss any sort of...
Are we fading the lights on us? And
any sort of craziness that may have happened and talk to us with a nice, calm, sultry voice that'll make us feel warm and fuzzy.
Did you just
and
say
believe that everything will be all right.
Did you say it was a boring week this week?
I lied. Trickery and deceit. I'm going to throw it over to the Commish now. Why don't you just make us feel warm and fuzzy about things and stuff?
Thanks. Well, as many of you know...
Use your sultry voice.
As many of you know.
Well, as many of you know... This week was a... I can't keep talking. Anyways, this week we hit a new point in the league where, honestly, some things were tested that needed to be tested. Some weak points, I think, were brought up. But in the end, I think our league is going to be a better league by what we've been through this week. So, here's what occurred for those of you who didn't care to read my novel and email I sent. Yes, Brad Henley, I'm talking to you, along with probably the Acid Kickers and probably Sam and Timmy. I know you never read what I send you either. You just go along with it. So, but for the rest of you,
I read it, sir. I read it.
Anyway, so I know you read it because I read it to you before I sent it out.
That's true.
To the league.
It's true.
Anyways, here's what occurred this past week. We had an incident where a trade was proposed. The trade was submitted through our online system, myfantasyleague.com, and that trade was accepted. Well, after the trade is accepted, according to our constitutional bylaw, Article Article 6, Section D, we are to allow owners a 24-hour period after our trade is accepted to entertain other offers from other franchises. And if another offer is received and the franchise wants to back out of the trade to accept another offer, they're allowed to within this clause. But this was, I guess you could say, violated by a new system we put in place at the beginning of the season, which threw out a forced vote on any approved trade or any accepted trades in the league. Whereas when you would go to set your lineup, it's saying, hey, go vote in this poll to take a look and review the trade before you move forward. And we set that up to try to reduce any type of unfair trading amongst the league, to make sure the league was aware of trades that were occurring, and to make sure everyone got a chance and a platform to try to voice their thoughts on, what the trade was. Anyways, there was an issue where when that trade goes to that poll, and everyone votes on it, if it met the certain criteria, which in this case was at least 6 votes to approve the trade, the system would just process the trade. It pushed it through. And in this scenario here, it sent 2 players from Team A, in this case, we'll say Mr. Clutch's Face football team, over to the 69ers team, and vice versa. So those 2 teams, their trade went through, it accepted, it went to the vote, it got the approval votes, it processed, it took ownership. But then throughout all of that, another offer came in that Mr. Clutch's fake football team wanted to entertain, and he invoked that clause. And at first I was like, okay, yeah, you have every right to, without realizing, really what the consequences of this would mean. Needless to say, I reversed the trade, but then a lot comes into play of, well, what was the actual status of this trade, blah, 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 so on and so forth. But anyways, here's what I've determined, that the issue at hand was the way the trade processed automatically without granting the 24-hour period. You are entitled to that 24-hour period as the current Constitution states. To correct that, we've now moved to a manual approval period, to whereas I can let the trade stand out there and not be automatically processed to ensure the 24-hour period pushes through. And then we went to a league vote to see which of the 2 proposed trades should be allowed to process based on the ethics of the Constitution and so on and so forth. And it ended up that one was a trade, but another counteroffer came in, and it all didn't matter anyways. It just didn't matter. But what I'm excited to see is that there was a lot of open dialogue, a lot of discussion. I feel like, at first things got kind of emotional, but everyone reeled it in, and I believe there was a lot of good sportsmanship involved in this. And I just want to say thank you to everyone in the league for putting up with things like that. But I also want to say, and this is what this league is about. We formed this league because we wanted to be a league where we could go to this level, because the leagues we played in before, by this time of the year, people stopped playing. Well, this time of the year, people didn't care. Or the commissioners and stuff of the leagues just were horrible. And this league wants to be better than that. This league is committed to trying to be a league where everything matters, where everyone gets a fair chance, if you're willing to put in the work to reach a dynasty within this league. So anyways, what the next step of this is going to be, now that's all been resolved, is we're going to put together a committee to revamp trade policy within the league. So if you're interested, I'm going to be calling upon a few people. Some people may be SOC members, some people are not SOC members, to be a representative in this committee so that we can organize new trade policy that can be adopted as a new amendment to our Constitution that may have clear guidelines and be more beneficial to everyone. So if you're interested, reach out to me. If not, I might be reaching out to you. I got some people in mind who I think will be a great member of this committee for putting together a new trade policy.
So for right now, we have 1 week from today. We're taping this on a Wednesday. 1 week until the trade deadline.
Correct.
And the trade deadline ends at noon.
Noon on Wednesday. So no offers can be accepted.
Day before Thanksgiving.
Right.
Past noon.
So, that's right. Next Wednesday, which is going to be November 23rd?
Yes.
November
Yes.
November 23rd.
Sounds right.
Noon, November 23rd is the trade deadline. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and say this. You guys can get mad at me. You can argue whatever you want. Go ahead and submit all the trades you want up to that point. But after noon, it's all done. So if you submit a trade at 11:59 a.m. and it gets accepted, you don't get a 24-hour period to negotiate anything else. It's done. It's done. At noon, whatever's out there is out there. It's done. It's processed.
And I think that's correct because after noon, the deadline's over.
Yes.
So you can't entertain another offer because there's no more trading.
Exactly.
So don't forget about that. It's noon, not midnight.
Yes.
And it is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, November 23rd, 2016 AD, not BC. So don't get confused on that either. Moving on here, let's take a look at this week's matchup of the week.
Matchup of the week.
We got Mr. Clutch's fake football team versus Hernandez pistol offense, and we just heard that both of these guys still have a shot, although it's small, at the playoffs. Statman, break down this matchup, please.
Great matchup here. Hernandez pistol offense, fresh off their lot of points from last week, 187. Yeah. Done talking about it. This Clutch's fake football team with 34 from Antonio Brown. Newly acquired Antonio Brown this week. This is a great matchup. Hernandez pistol offense got Dak Prescott going up against the Ravens defense, who pretty stingy. Ryan Matthews against that Seahawks defense. Can't imagine he's going to score 29 again. But maybe somebody else will drop a player that he gets to pick up, and they'll score 30 for him this week. You know, it's possible. Very good matchup. I'm going with... Oh, we got to mention, this is Aaron Rodgers going up against three of his wide receivers this week. Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, and Devontae Adams all for HPO. I got to go with Hernandez pistol offense in this one. Antonio Brown might score 50 this week. He's going up against the Browns defense. But his running backs are Jerick McKinnon and James White. Not so confident in them. Going Hernandez pistol offense to get the win.
All right, commish.
I'm going Hernandez pistol offense.
I am also going Hernandez pistol offense. That means we can sweep the matchup of the week. Although I think this is going to be a close game. I'm going to say we might have a close shave of the week.
Ooh.
I'm not going to put any money on it. I'm just feeling good. We haven't had one in a while. I feel like this could be a good one. For the rest of these, we're going to go lightning round style since we did have a lot of other stuff filling in this show just to narrow it down. Bourbon Barons versus Hoff. Statman.
Hoff.
Commish. Lightning round. You go fast.
Your order is not the same as mine. I'm going Hoff.
I'm going Bourbon Barons. All right. JPP versus Niners. I'm going JPP. Statman.
I gotta look at this. I'm going JPP. 69ers has Melvin Gordon on bye, Emmanuel Sanders on bye, and Matt Bryan on bye.
Yeah, I'm going JPP.
We're sweeping JPP. Enterprises versus EBDBBNB Commish.
Do we have to say it? Enterprises.
All right. Statman.
I'm going with Enterprises.
Sweep it. Scarlet Pimps versus Acid Kickers. Commish. Do I have to ask?
Pimps.
Statman.
Acid Kickers.
What? Okay, I'm going Pimps. Unseen Academicals versus Los Bandas Desnudo. I'm going Academicals. Statman. This is Statman. You gotta say who you're gonna take.
I know.
This is the slowest lightning I've ever touched.
I'm going Academicals. Say it out.
I'm going Academicals.
And with that, we will save the picks and sweep that last one. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget the trade deadline is coming up. It's this Wednesday at noon, which is the day before Thanksgiving. Don't forget also, eat turkey on Thanksgiving. Spend time with your family. Love on them. Be thankful for everything God gives you in this world. And have a good night.